Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. Good morning. Uh, this is whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. This is Alan Bostic, the Poker Shaman, streaming to you from the Poker Dojo in Oakland, California, where the time is currently 2:23 p.m. on Thursday, March 17th, 2022, St. Patrick's Day. And I see I've got some chat already. Q Attack says, "Hi Alan, I've caught portions of a couple of your recorded sessions the past few days. I'm relatively new to CPG and finished the PVC. Been playing poker for 24 years. Well, thanks for joining me. This is a play and explain session. I'm going to be talking through my thought process at 200 no limit tables and trying to talk through it in detail so that I can use my recording of this as a study aid to not only debug my play when I review the hands, but to debug my thought process as I talk through my thought process while I play the hands. That's a valuable aid in finding holes in my thought process. So that's what I'm doing right here for the two-table play and explain session. After an hour of this, I will be back I would take a break and then come back for volume sessions where I concentrate on the grinding and less so on explaining what I'm doing. But here, it's all about the explaining what I'm doing and why and what I'm thinking. And thinking through what I'm doing and talking about it and filling up the air with blather. But right now I'm waiting to take the big blind at either of the two tables. And so we wait. I'm off to a late start today because of a noon to 1:30 class I'm taking that has nothing to do with poker. Happens once a month on Thursdays, and there's nothing I can do about that since Thursday is the start of my work week. Jack 7 offsuit in the big blind on table 1. That's not defendable. The button open limps, which is worth a note. We flop second pair, no kicker to speak of. Calling their bet, 2/3 pot. Folding to the pot size bet. We think they're a fish, but they show Queen 10 for a made straight. Defending King Jack offsuit from a cutoff open. Flop a gut shot. Over here we have 10 Jack suited in the small blind. We are ISOing to 5 bigs. Just calling here. The ISO gets through. We hit our gut shot. We have the nuts. I am checking. Ace Queen offsuit on the button. Again, we are ISOing. And now we are check raising. 850 plus 640 is let's make it 15. It's a 4-liner to a jack. We have the nut straight with our king. We c-bet, it's a semi-dry flop, we c-bet 30%, or and we're going to bet 30% here. Get a call. We still have the nuts. Our c-bet got through on table 1. John M. on the forum says Q attack. 7-8 offsuit is going to be a fold in the cutoff. Scott League T says, I like how you're trying to get better. Much respect. Well, for it to work, I have to actually get better. Anyway, we have this person tagged as green. He should be tagged as purple. This person is 1414, tentatively tagged yellow. Jack 5 suited is a minimally open, the weakest jack we're going to open on the button. 9-7 off is a fold in the low jack, or a hijack even. Okay, min raise here. We're calling with everything. But if they bet half pot, we're folding. And we take a note on this idiot. Jack 10 off in the cutoff is openable. But it's not, we can't ISO a low jack with it. Six, 4 suited. We can open with it here, so yeah, let's ISO. And it gets through. Scott League T says, do you study pre-flop charts? You never use a RNG? Well, I do use pre-flop ranges. I got them, the ones I use from Brad Wilson called Pre-Flop Boot Camp. Pocket fives in the cutoff is certainly an open. And these ranges there are no mixes in them. It's all either 100% open, 3-bet, etc. All right, this is paired. No, this is dynamic flop. We're betting 30% here. That's in our range. We want to. Now we have. We want to get to showdown for cheap at this point, so we're checking. King deuce offsuit is a fold, and we're checking back. What did they? King 5 offsuit. They defended and. All right, we are out of position on a dynamic board with air. That's a check. And we're folding, unfortunately. Ten four suited is not in our opening range. Q attack asks, what is my tagging system? It's color codes. Yellow means potentially good player based on their VPIP and preflop ranges. Green means fish. They check and call when they should bet and raise. They play too many hands. Cyan, cyan here is knit. Blue means reg, but we can't. Queen 8 is not quite good enough to open. Q attack says, did you ISO since cutoff folded to your last ISO? No, I ISO'd because my hand was good enough to ISO with. It's in my ISOing range. I've never ISO'd that hand even in position before. It was 6-4 suited, as I recall. It's a hand I would open in the cutoff with, so it's strong enough to ISO a cutoff raise. It's a little dicey because we should probably be ISOing with our hijack range against a cutoff of limper. But this guy limp folded twice. Then you saw him defending his bink line with king 5 offsuit, so playing way too many hands. 56% VPIP. He gets purple for big fish or whale. Ace 9 is not quite good enough, so we're folding. And so yeah, purple is indigo. I don't use. Purple is for big fish. Red is for aggressive, betting and raising when they should be checking and calling. And orange is for super aggro, high VPIP, aggressive players like 50% or more. King, queen, diamonds is an open in the low jack. It's a very good hand. Nine hands, they have VPIP twice and not raised, they get green. All right, we've got overcards on a 10-8 deuce rainbow dry board. We are betting 30% of pot. Now we are betting 70%. All right, this player's range is pretty well capped, so we're betting 70% again, hoping to fold out their 8x, even 10x. It's pretty clear they folded. Yay. But yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to find a spot to ISO 6-4 suited in position because it's only playable on the cutoff or button. And Ace-4 suited in spades on the blind. We have a fishy limper. We're ISOing to 5. 4x in position, 5x out of position is my ISO sizing. Gets through. 10-3 offsuit in the small blind is a fold. 6-deuce on the button is a fold. If this player opens for 3, their first raise in 22 hands, so it's presumably pretty tight. Top 5% range. They wimp again. Ace king on the button, suited in clubs. You're opening it. They donk into us. We are calling. They checked. That caps their range. We bet 70%. And they fold. Thanks for the donation. Ace king offsuit. In the cutoff, low jack opens. 18-6. They're fairly tight, but we are good enough to 3-bet anyway. They flat. Queen jack 7 two-tone. %. Queen of hearts. We block club draws. We unblock backdoor heart draws. 70%. We're basically going the distance with this hand, whether or not we get there. Turn barrel gets through, and we pick up some chips. Ace-5 offsuit's a fold. Going back to Scott League T's question, do I study pre-flop charts? Yes, I use the pre-flop boot camp chart. 7-9-7 offsuit in the big blind, not good enough to ISO with. We're checking. We flop second pair. King-jack in the big blind over here. Now we get 2-pair. I'm going to bet 70%. And it's kind of marginal. I'm calling. And we flop 2-pair. All right, we're check raising. 3 + 9 is 12. Let's make it 15. We have the jack of spades, which is a fold. folding the 10-8. You can get away with triple barrels more if you have in mind what you are trying to fold out in the villain's range, and it helps a lot if the villain has capped their range. For example, that king-queen hand was against, was that a big blind defense? Small blind, I think it was. I was under the gun, and when they don't raise, they're calling down with a pair or something. It helps. Having good blockers helps. I don't recall that we blocked all that much in that hand. But the key is to be aware of how capped the villain's range is. A7 is going to be a fold, 10-7 is going to be a fold. And mind you, I'm also using again from Brad Wilson, his feeding frenzy strategy guide for 3-street strategy, covering the basics of 3 streets of game tree. 6-5 offsuit's a fold, and there's indicating when against the player pool queen 4 is going to be a fold. It is profitable to bet, when it is profitable to barrel, and when you should not barrel when runouts turn bad. Q Attack says, did you learn your barreling for CPG courses, Nuffle, etc., or did you mostly use that strategy before you bought those courses? No, I got them from Chasing Poker Graces. That was pure fitting frenzy. Of course, when the Ace-King double barrel was in a 3-bet pot, when my range had dialed down a fair amount, if you play Ace-King like you'd play aces or kings, you only get beat when you run into aces or kings, because otherwise everybody gets out of the way. By the way, Q Attack, thank you for the follow. I didn't see, that was half an hour ago, but I appreciate it. And where are we at right now? Right now, we're out of the hand, on both tables. King 10 offsuit in the small blind with an low jack open. We're not playing. Scott T's League T. I will have to look him up, meaning presumably Brad Wilson. ChasingPokerGreatness.com. Jack 9 offsuit. Oh, limp, limp. We have the 9 of diamonds. We got some backdoor potential, but that's about it. We're not interested in putting any more money into this pot just yet. Double paired board. We're basically done. Too many players to bluff. Our kicker does, or Jack does play, so it's conceivable we could have the best hand, although I don't think it's actually likely. We both had Jack 9. That's funny. Started at 223. Nine four offsuits to fold. This player is looking pretty special. Flatting opens. 29-15, that's kind of special too. Deuce 7's going to be a fold. King Jack is an easy ISO. And we flop top pair on a dynamic board. Top pair, good kicker. Our c-bet does not get through. Ace deuce offsuit is a fold. Trey deuce suited is a fold. Eight three offsuit in this big blind. That's certainly not defendable. So we fold. Easy game. King 5 offsuit is a fold in the low jack. King 6 suited in hearts in the small blind. We'll see what happens. We can't call an open with it. Can't 3-bet an open with it. It's open, we're folding. Ace tray offsuit on the button is just below my opening range there. It was a Scott League says, I'm an upswing kind of guy. I will still look into it though. Thanks. The The strength of it is, of the Brad Wilson info products, is that they are based on mass data analysis and being super exploitative against the pool, particularly on Ignition and Bovada. But most online sites, the pool makes similar kinds of mistakes at the stakes we're playing. Queen 10 offsuit. It's a hijack open. It's kind of, oh, there's callers. We're folding. With more people in, the marginal hand becomes more and more marginal. This Queen 10 offsuit does not play well multi-way. And so it's easy to let go. It was a smallish open, but getting a good price can be illusory. Ace 5 offsuit in the cutoff, that's a fold. I want ace 8 offsuit or better. If this player was super nitty, I might consider opening ace 5, but no. 31-8 is very much a fish. 36-27, those are actually potentially decent stats. Jack 7 is not going to call the button open. Pocket 3s in the hijack is, I'd open 4s, but not 3s. Q Attack said, I just went through CPG pre-flop boot camp and it helped a lot, especially my 3-betting and BB defense. To my view, the biggest strength in particular of pre-flop boot camp, well, the pre-flop ranges are all pretty much, they're much of a muchness. They differ in some subtle details, but assuming that they're somehow solver generated, they're going to look pretty much alike one another, depending on the assumptions that go into them. How big is the rake compared to the big blind? But the strength of pre-flop boot camp is that it is tied in with the Range Trainer Pro drilling site, where you can drill with your pre-flop ranges, and now it's developed so you can drill post-flop with solver solutions as well. Following the 5-7, Queen 8 suited. There is, oh, there's a 3-bet now, a 3-bet squeeze. We're dropping out. This player, that's a good move, good sizing. And Range Trainer Pro is unbelievably good practice for drilling pre-flop decisions. I have not gone the full distance with it to do work on post-flop play against solves. Pocket 7s. There's an open in the hijack. Like I said, I'd open 4s or better. Queen 9 offsuit on the button, if it's folded to us, is also an open. And this player min raises. It's their first 3-bet, but we're super priced in. We're folding to the small blind 3-bet over here. And we are not continuing here. This player is showing the aces. Yes, they are. That's worth 2 notes. Chest Hole says, I wish whatever mental block preventing me from playing my bankroll would go away. That's a mental game issue. You can find coaching for that. I'm good enough now, damn it. All right, it's 3 ways. We have a gut shot to a queen. We have no heart in our hand. We are out of position to the flat collar, who has a presumably tightish range, although they're a loose player. We are not betting here. We are checking. Checking and hoping to realize. And this person bets whole pot. We're not continuing. Queen 4 suited is a fold. King 3 offsuit is not defendable. We are checking. We're folding the King 5. We flop bottom pair. And do we want to continue? Our hand is really sucky. This play, I don't think so. Ace deuce offsuit. We're doing nothing with that. Ace 8 against a cutoff open. We're calling. No clubs in our hand. We have an overcard and backdoor straight. This player has checked. We unblock clubs. They wouldn't have. They might have bet clubs. Let's. They probably have a hand like sixes, ace 7. They cap their range by checking back, indicating they almost certainly did not have a 9. If they had a 9, they were slow playing something big. Ace 4 offsuit is barely openable. What do we? So when top pair called, we could credibly represent a 9. Folding to the open. Jack 9 is not quite good enough to open from the cutoff. Eight 7 offsuit is going to be a fold. Got about 20 minutes left in this play and explain session. 8-4 suited in the hijack's a fold. chest hole, whatever mental block that is not just going to go away. You have to work on it somehow or other. If you are the self-examining type, you could think about what it feels like to try to play at your bankroll, what feelings come up, what fears come up, what thoughts come up, and find out try to dig into what's behind those thoughts, what's really going on, and work with that. A good mental game coach can dig into that with you. Jack Trey, we're not defending that against a cutoff open. Ace deuce offsuit, nope. 7 deuce, nope. So I might ask you, chest hole, when you think about playing at a level commensurate with your bankroll, what happens? What do you think about? What do you feel when you think about, I don't know what level you were rolled to play at, what level you're actually playing at, but when you think about playing at a level that you're actually rolled to play at, what happens in you? So the thoughts and feelings that go into that. A7 is not quite good. It's close. But with the small blind call saved me. This hand sucks multi-way. .32 is actually getting more red and less yellow. There's a large stats. Somebody dropping by my stream last week said that they thought that the 200 no limit players were, the 200 no limit was easier to beat than 100 no limit. And it sounds plausible, but I would like to see the evidence. I am technically rolled to play, technically I'm rolled to play up to 1K no limit, but I've never played that high. Oh, looky, pocket jacks on the button. I've never played that high. Oh, there's an open from a tight player. We 3-bet. We've only 3-bet once before against this player. to let the clock run down just a little bit. Then we are betting 30% with our entire range, seeing if we get to the turn. They call. All right, we have a gut shot to a 10. The front door clubs have gotten there. We're in, let's get to a showdown for cheap stage. Backdoor, we have a 4-liner to a flush. There are straights possible. Jack 10 is there. Folding the 9 deuce to the small blind open. King 4 is a fold. Jack deuce offsuit is going to be a fold in the small blind. 3-4 offsuit in the hijack is a fold. By the way, position names: button, cutoff, hijack, low jack. Everything is, says his name is relative to the button. Doesn't matter if this is under the gun 6-handed or mid position 9-handed. All that counts is how far from the button it is. Okay, Chestol says, well, I used to feel like I was a nut polisher playing baby stakes, 1 up from free rolls. Not good enough to pay any higher. Pocket 4s in the low jack is 1 pip too small. I'd open 5s. Okay, Chestol, that's how you used to feel. How do you feel now? 5-4 offsuit in the button is a fold. Queen 7 suited in clubs on the big blind. Hijack opens. Used to c-bet a very high percentage, just playing better cards than villains, so showing the small profit. That's a good foundation for a winning game. Jack deuce is going to be a fold. Now we have top pair, bad kicker. Queen 4-5 two-tone. It's very much a dynamic flop. They bet pot. I don't want to fold top pair, so we have a gut shot to 6 to go with our top pair. We are continuing to see what happens. Pot again. I don't want to go the next. I don't want to go to the distance. I don't have a hand worth 3 bets. Now their stats. It's a small sample size, but their stats are on the aggressive side. So I should rethink. 41-26. 7-4 is not a stealing hand. This is borderline red. 26-39 would be one 3-bet here. This person has 3-bet 4 times, consistent with their more visibly aggro profile. 5 tray is not defendable. We've got about 10 minutes to go in this first hour. Person is short stacked on top of everything else. Queen 10 8, monotone spades, 9 of diamonds, king jack suited in spades on the cutoff over here. Table 2. We are opening. We have bupkis. They have fold. Thanks for the gift of your big blind. Queen 7 offsuit's a fold. Ace tray is not playing. Scott League T says you should have a 40 buy-in bankroll just for poker, and if you're losing, gotta look into why. Al, if you're losing, you gotta look into why, that's for sure. 40 buy-in. The right size of your bankroll depends on how much you're crushing anyway. Chestrel says, no, I'm crushing the micro stakes. One thing to remember is you're not obliged to move up in stakes. There's no moral imperative to do so. If you're not happy playing the stakes you're playing, then think about moving up. If you're beating the stakes you're playing and you would like to move up, by all means, move up. If you have the roll for it. Scott League T says, do you mark hands and then download the hand histories from Bovada after one day to see everyone's whole cards? Well, I certainly do download after 24 hours. Seeing the hold cards is invaluable for seeing how good I am at my own ranging. Ace deuce suited is definitely an open. Ace 8 suited on the button is so completely an open. It would be a crime not to open it. This one got through. They both got through. Ace deuce, this too is an open. $73 buy-ins, chest hole. What stakes are you playing currently? Another one gets through over here. Ace jack offsuit on the button, in the big blind, I should say. And gets a walk. And got about 5 minutes left to go. Pocket fours in the hijack. You open with them. Like I say, it's the weakest pocket pair I'll open in the hijack. Button flats. This kind of borderline lag, loose passive. And lucky us, we flop our set. It is a dynamic flop out of position. Sevens on the button. All right, let's call this. Clubs get there, so we're just check calling. Oh, for Christ's sake. That was sick. It's time to sit out. I am going to take a short break, and then we'll be back quite soon for my 4-table volume grind. I'm done with my play and explain.